This is a Munisee broadcast. Code Red, here we are. Pick up your iPads, your cell phones, and have me and listen to Uncle the Podcast. Watch out. If you're sitting down for this, or if you're standing up, you better get ready for this, because it's gonna hit the eardrums. Uncle the Podcast.
You are listening to Uncle the Broadcast. My name is Aaron. I'm the nephew-in-law. Here with me is the star of the show, Uncle.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, 340 we on.
It's exciting. This is an exciting moment for us. We made it this far. Gosh, this is something special. I forgot to turn the lights on, Uncle. Gosh, what kind of director am I?
Are you an director? What's going on?
I'll tell you there, director. You're not doing so well with that, the lighting and all that. But something else came up too. Last week, you guys had drinks. And you know what you forgot to do, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, okay.
You're right.
I just wanted to remind you.
We have to do that. Call up for the
we do
the testing of the drink.
It was so we did a beer review, and it was the first time ever we forgot to give it the rating of 1 to 10 at the end. We just forgot.
Right. Completely forgot about it with all the talking we had with two other guys on this line.
What were we thinking?
Well, to start that off with, now that he mentioned it, let's go ahead and rate it. So get that out of the way.
So,
okay. What do you give it?
Okay, so the beer, once again, that we drank last week on the show was Taiwan beer grapefruit flavored beer, malt beverage, which was a very low alcohol content.
Quick little notes on that is that not only was it not high in alcohol content, but when you say grapefruit, people are thinking like, something that's a cousin to an orange. And no, it's more like grape the fruit. So it tasted like grape to you guys. And again, very low alcohol content, like not near beer, but barely a beer. How about that? Because it was 2.9% or 2. What was it? 2.3, 2.6?
Yeah, 2.8. Yeah, 2.8, which is very low.
Very low percent alcohol, right? And I mean, God, barely a beer. So you guys did not do the rating, and it was strange. We realized it like right after we closed out the microphones, and it was like, "Hey, what about the numbers?" Oh yeah.
I know.
And just gotten some important topics.
We kick it off with that. Start that, and since you've said something, check.
Yeah. So okay, like you said, Uncle, I'll give my rating of Taiwan beer, grapefruit flavored beer. I would say I give it a 6 out of 10. It was not something I'd want to drink usually, but it tasted fine. I mean, if I wanted something that tasted like grape juice / grape soda, I would drink it because that's what it is, but I don't really want that. So the 6, What do you say, Uncle?
Same one.
Same rating?
Yeah.
6.
Because I had a feeling it didn't have the, like I said, the push of what everybody's talking about, fruit or contact of a liquor drink. I've had a better drink, of course, than that for Damon New Revolution. I had better drinks than that.
We've had a lot of better drinks than Taiwan beer, grapefruit flavored beer, that's for sure. So, I mean, it's for novelty, it could be fun if you like sweet stuff. It tastes okay, but
if somebody has like a sweet tooth, they go for something like that. Or something like a sweet
they could
drink.
Yeah, but Uncle, we should mention this is the live show Friday night. We do take calls, so you can call if you want to. If you're out there in the audience, you want to call in, please do. Number is 319-527-5016, or you can use Skype, actually, and you can type a message to Chuck. He is Charles Dotticelli. If you type him a message, he'll call you into the show, or just call with your phone, 319-527-5016. We're live on the O'Chilly Radio Network Friday night, always.
Well, here we are, people. This is a preseason week.
Oh, yeah, football's back, right?
Football's back.
Yeah. Very good.
If what's his name's on that line? Yeah. Let's see what your rookies can do.
Mike Ditka? We talking about Mike Ditka?
No, not. Talking about the Tiger Boy.
The Tiger Boy? Oh. Oh, yes, the Tiger Boy. Yes. Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
If he's on the line.
Any NFL fans or any anybody employed by the NFL, it'd be cool if we got a call from you. We'd like to hear and get your expertise on all of this.
What do you all think about the new rules? That's the question I want to ask them.
They have some interesting new ones, don't they? They have the what was it with the when they're doing the kickoff?
The kickoff.
They're really close to each other, right?
Yeah. Only person who far is the kicker, because he has to kick it down there, so he has to be away from everybody else.
So the kicker is kind of far, but then
everybody
the defense
is all up together.
Yeah.
To me, it seems like it's sort of like the what you call it games.
The Olympics?
The Olympic Games.
It's like the Olympics?
The setup.
Being close together like that is like the Olympics.
To me, yes. On a football field.
Okay.
You know that handball game?
It's like handball.
A handball game.
Okay.
It looked just like that kind of setup.
Yeah.
How they're talking. I mean, it's crazy.
I see the similarity.
Yeah, see it?
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about.
I mean, maybe. I don't know what – I think it seems obvious that the reason that they made the change is that they want to reduce injuries on the punt returns.
That I can see. That I can understand.
I'm guessing that's what they're going for there.
Yeah.
But I know that there has been a reaction to it. I haven't really listened to what people are saying about whether they love it, they hate it, blah, blah. Probably there's all sorts of reactions, right? But yeah, I noticed that them doing it.
Yeah. I've seen them in a few of these preseason games. How they got them. They had them set up, and they're so close together, like that game I mentioned. And he's going back and forth, but with the running in the football.
Indeed. Uncle, did you know that our purpose is to waste people's time?
I know, because everybody has to listen to us. I know that. That's an easy one.
I learned that in government hour today. I'm glad I did. I learned something. Yeah.
Well, that talking about your hour.
Yeah.
They're tightening it up. I see.
Yeah.
On the people there. Oh.
You're talking about government now?
Government, you are. At the time.
That government just won't quit, Uncle. I don't know what to do about it. It doesn't seem to ever go away. I just have to keep talking about it. It's like, can the government just stop? What about that government shutdown about? Why can't that just happen indefinitely? That way we don't have to worry about the government anymore.
Is there another government shutdown coming?
It might be.
Well, why not?
It might be. See, it might be if everybody don't get their act together.
You know, he had a whole hour and he didn't bring up a government shutdown on government hour. I mean, what's going on here? You know,
he didn't.
No, he didn't bring it up. And I got
that's surprising because that's all that they've been listening to, or they were listening to on their phones today. While we're going on about the vice president and how he's going after Trump.
Yeah, all that. I was actually going to ask you something, Uncle, about something that he mentioned on Government Hour, but it's not really a Government Hour topic. Did you go camping too this week?
No.
You didn't go. Oh, okay. So you were home.
No, they went because I didn't have my own tent they didn't have me set up my own tent. So I now got an own tent that I can sleep in, that no one can bother me. But I was I didn't go. No. They did.
I understand. If I had a tent at home, I'd set it up every once in a while just outside, you know?
That's what I'm thinking of doing.
I tell you, that's what I would do. If I had my own solid tent that I could zip up and nobody could get in, you know, I'd be happy with it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Not a bad idea.
Quiet out there.
Yeah, Uncle wasn't on this camping trip. You went on, what was
the last one I went on was the one with your surprise.
when we went to where did we go again? Oh, Sequoia National or Sequoia Forest. Yeah, National Forest. Yeah,
that was nice.
That was nice.
I like that. I mean, that was the last one I went to.
That was last summer. Yeah,
Okay.
you were on that one. That was a good trip. That was a good camping trip. Wouldn't mind going back up there too. But yeah, well, maybe we'll go to the desert and camp sometime soon too, when it cools off a bit. Not right now.
Yeah. This talking about this heat now for them. Might as well go on that subject. This heat has been going on and going off, on and off. But this week, it's now going back down to 80, where it'd be comfortable for the dogs and us people walking them. So, but that would be nice to have comfortable walking time instead of getting hot.
Guess what, Uncle?
What?
Drilling for bacon.
It's bacon.
Drilling for bacon.
Who is?
Well, I can tell you that's what gets engagement for me on Twitter. Drilling for bacon. So I'm going to do it here on the podcast and just hope and pray to the podcast gods that it works the same way on podcasts as it does on comment section on Twitter.
Very interesting. Now I'm getting me to guess.
We just got some subscriptions with me saying that, I think, Uncle.
Description.
I think we might have. I think that's how it works. If I know anything about this podcasting business, it's this. Drilling for bacon definitely drives engagement. Okay? How can it not work?
Sounds like a T-shirt to me.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like, too. I was thinking the same thing. That is a T-shirt. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it sounds like an MST song, Uncle. That too. That could be a good MST song, Drilling for Bacon.
Let's get those callers ringing in there, Chuck.
Okay, as soon as they show up, I'll put them on.
They're about to stream in, Uncle. We're streaming. We're live streaming. The callers are going to stream in. We're actually on, let's see here. We are on, let me see the destinations. We are on my Twitter page, which it seems to be getting the most views there at the moment. We're doing, good thing I got that blue check mark, Uncle. We're also on Trovo. That's working.
Oh, yeah.
No, we're on Kick. That's working. Trovo, I'm not sure if it's working or not. We're on Twitch and we're on YouTube, and we do have people watching.
That YouTube has been top notch on this my podcast because that's been the topic.
Does a good job.
That one.
Yeah.
To take this that one has been pulling a lot of them.
I gotta say, Uncle, yes, YouTube is great, and we do get a lot of views and do a good job over there. But for some reason, these live streams have been doing, and now that we're back on doing the Twitter streaming, it seems to get the most views over there. I don't know.
What the reviews? What ones are we talking about? The X?
The X, yeah, that's X, yes.
Oh, that's the X. I've been trying to find what's this X one.
Yeah, it's what was Twitter. They rebranded it because Elon Musk is annoying and he can't help himself from doing really stupid, annoying things.
Well, he's got to make it.
So he rebranded it.
Yeah, he's got to make it match. SpaceX X. See?
Oh, okay. Well,
so he's the one doing it. He's behind this calling.
He sure is. That and a lot of other things.
Well, if you couldn't have that, what kind of things could we be talking about other than that?
What could we talk about X other than that?
Yeah, other with X.
Oh, we can talk about whatever we want, Uncle. This is your show. You get name the topic. Just name your pet issue right now, Uncle. Tell the people what they need to hear. Tell them what you want to tell them. This is Uncle the Podcast. This is your hour. Let loose. Let the people know, Uncle.
We're talking about no comedy film. Putting the comedies together. I'm trying to put comedy together in Detext. This kind of Detext of kind of stuff. Trying to get people to talk again. This is what I'm trying to get.
Make people talk again. How's that for a campaign?
I'm trying to understand. But I know not taking things out of proportion. They are yelling up and down the stream about this kind of convention that they've been having.
So the Uncle campaign, so the Uncle campaign slogan is, you want to make America conversate again.
Good.
There you go.
That was it.
Very good.
Commentate again, to have a conversation with everybody chatting.
Yeah, well,
that's what my aim is for.
That's a good,
my aim is trying to do.
It's a good point, Uncle. Anybody who may be watching on the live streams or Neil Chili Radio Network, join the chat. There's a chat on all of these live stream channels, the YouTube, the Twitch, the Twitter. You can leave a comment, but we don't see it. But nonetheless, leave one anyway, and we can respond to the ones on a lot of the platforms, and we'll have a conversation right on this show.
And I'd
like to know, when are you going to be able to talk to our neighbors over here?
When will I be able to?
Yeah.
About what? What do I need to talk to them about?
What, the YouTube people?
No. Our neighbors that we have over here, trying to
directly next door?
Yeah. No, not that side. That side.
What do I need to talk about?
2 houses down.
2 houses. What am I talking to?
No, 3 houses down.
Wait, it is the YouTubers then.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There's other YouTube people.
When am I going to talk to them?
The chance to.
I haven't seen them in a long time. When they first moved in, they were out a lot. What happened to them?
I've been walking the dogs.
Yeah.
I talked to the father half the time.
Yeah.
I talked to the sister part of the time.
Okay.
I've been talking to them, but I can't say what you have to say to them because you have to do it. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, okay. Well,
and then you don't have the time, and
so you've had a lot of interactions with
them. Interactions with those people, but I'd like to one day, if you would be able to, getting around, just conversation with them. That's all. Having conversation with them.
Okay.
And that's all, and then see what they say.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, as we're getting at, you're the one that's the guy about town, much more so than me. I don't get out a lot, that's for sure. When I'm here at home, I'm usually just in here, and I feel like it's not a lot of time. You go out with the dogs and walk around a lot more than me. But at some point, when I come out of my hole, if I do see them, I might start up a conversation. I'm like, hey, how's that YouTube been going? Hey, I YouTube not successfully like you, but I've made stuff on there. So
even if you say that may get them to talk. That's all I'm going to say. Just get them to talk.
I might say, do you like broadcasts?
Yeah.
I might say that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know when I'll do that. If I see them, I might.
I shot a few cards to them, but I never had a comment from them.
Yeah.
You know, on my own cards, I hand them out.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on there. I might talk to them sometime. Is that a good answer? That's a terrible answer, but that's what I got.
No, that's the tempo I heard last week and the week before. Well.
Press the button, everybody.
Press the button and let's get going.
Press the button. YouTube, Instagram, Twitter X. Press the buttons and follow us. You're not going to want to miss content like Drilling for Bacon. You will be able to catch this show when it streams live. I've made sure to retweet the live stream via the Uncle the Podcast X account too, so that's going to help us out. So that's exciting. Let me go and see. Yeah, the viewage numbers are pretty good. Yeah, I see there's a couple people on YouTube. If you could leave come on, let's join the chat. Tell us what you think. What do you think about bacon? What do you think about neighbors that are YouTubers? What do you think?
I know where you're going with this.
You do. Good, because I don't.
With the bacon.
Where are we, Uncle?
Next door neighbors.
Oh, when I talk to him, I'm gonna mention bacon.
That side.
Oh, now we are talking about the other neighbors. I thought we were the first time.
Yeah.
Listen here, neighbor.
This is I see now where we're going with this. Yeah. That is the top of a question. These neighbors over here,
Yeah.
don't hardly talk to me anymore. And then they all went bananas.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody in this house is worried about
Bacon.
the tree with the fruit on it. This going on. Yeah. Now I know. Now I see where you're going. I've been trying to understand where this bacon. Now I understand.
It's all clear now.
Yeah. They have that whole small garage packed.
They filled up their garage? It's all filled up with stuff?
That small one.
Oh, that's good.
I just retweeted those X links that you put out there, so hopefully that helps too. And I had to repost the corpse grinder thing too. By the way, the guy who's winning the little toys in the arcade.
Yeah.
So,
anyways, I had to put that out there with it. So
I was wondering if we were gonna do a preview of your guessing games, Wheel of Fortune. Like you used to do. Yeah.
My guess, Wheel of Fortune.
Whoa, you want to do Wheel of Fortune?
Guess a game, and they would be able to walk and
the show?
Talk on the show. You'd be the. Don't you remember?
I am not. We did this on the show, a guessing game.
Yeah. 4 hours back.
With a guest? Did we do it with a guest?
No, you had to try to get the guest on. If you can guess this, guess that. See, now he's lost.
Is this the questions we asked the listeners?
Yeah.
Well, this is an interesting thought. How about if you did a game show night on one of the Uncle broadcasts, right? Like, let's just say we did something real basic. You get out a whiteboard and you do a game of old-fashioned game of Hangman, let's say, and people got to guess the letters.
Right. Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we could play games. Yeah,
I'll do that for. Maybe start that to shake it up a little. That way, people. May get back on.
Yeah. Play Pictionary. That could be fun. Yeah. I'm up for anything. And the video game streams. We need. What about those? You want to keep playing video games and streaming, Uncle? You want to get back at that? Because we've been doing the VHS streams a lot, but we haven't done a video game one in a long time.
Yeah, we need to get to the video games.
You want to do that again?
Yeah, get back to them.
Yeah.
That also.
I'll do that again. Those are fun.
I mean, well, you've been on for the camping, and that we can do it. And so, but I was thinking this weekend.
Yes.
We can do at least one.
We'll have to do some kind of live stream, whether VHS or video games or one of those. So we'll have to do a live stream of some kind. So we'll figure that out. I do really enjoy doing those live streams on Saturday and the day. They're fun. Yeah. We do have a lot of VHS tapes which we could watch. We've got a few of those. We've got so many
quite
games.
A bit out here. We don't have iTunes, but we still got. I'm still curious about this one that we have, Top Gun. I'm curious.
Oh yeah, we have a Top Gun video.
We have a Top Gun video, and I'm curious about how that starts.
It's Top Guns is the title. Yeah, it's Top Guns. Actually, do you want to grab that tape, Uncle, real quick? I'll show the audience what it looks like. You see it over there? Here, go ahead and take the headphones off real quick and go grab that. Uncle's going to grab the tape so that you can see the Top Guns. I'll show you on camera here. It's yeah, there it is. Let me show the audience here. So if you're watching the live stream, you can see this. It's called Top Guns. It says The Real Pilots, The Real Story.
That really came out to.
Back of the tape says Top Guns, the documentary, is the story of carrier-based fighter pilots in the 1980s. Meet the men who are the best fighter pilots in the world. Hear their views on flying and combat. See their rigorous training and months and years of hard working. So it's a documentary of the real-life Top Gun guys, I guess. In the 80s, no less. So
we got a caller. Think I heard a ring well.
We have a call.
All right, there, caller. You're on the Hunk the Uncle Show. Good.
Hello, Uncle. This is Jimmy James.
Jimmy's back. I told you he'd show up.
Told us. All right, what's up, Jimmy?
Sorry about that. I was tired and put out for a minute there.
So what's been up with you?
Hey, you know what happened yesterday? All of a sudden, bloop, football started practice. All of a sudden, my phone automatically knows to pop up flying scoreboard.
They do that automatically?
On my phone, I did. So, yeah, I guess they're playing already. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're
Did you know
playing.
that?
They're playing the preseason games.
So, Jimmy, you haven't seen any of the games yet, then, right?
Well, I just observed it on my phone.
Okay, because I was curious.
They show highlights.
Okay, because Uncle was talking a little earlier about rule changes.
What did you hear about the rule changes
that they made? So I was just curious if you, because I didn't watch any. So, I glanced at a baseball game last week because I had a friend over. Regular Joe stopped by my house out of nowhere one night. And, he drove from Kentucky to Georgia and showed up on my doorstep because I'm crazy. I invite people to my house. But I didn't expect him to show up when he did. And there was a replay of a baseball game on. I haven't watched a baseball game in a long time. And so we were watching that. But I didn't know that football was starting, and I didn't know about the rule changes. So, anyway, Uncle brought it up, and I was just wondering if you had any views on that, Jimmy.
I think change in general in football is probably not good.
Well, every time there's been a change in football, it seems to me like there's always a massive objection. When they went from the helmets that had one bar across and they said you couldn't do that anymore, you had to actually put a face mask on, right? And things like that. I mean, when they changed the pads up, when they changed other requirements in the game, this and that, TV timeouts became a thing, right? I mean, people got irritated every time there was a change, but I don't know. I got a sense about these. It might be weirder, sort of like the baseball thing where they started running a clock against the pitchers, right? I mean, it might change the game a bit, Jimmy, don't you think?
Probably. Probably not for the best.
What do you think?
I did notice we lost horribly to the New York Giants. Something like 3-12 or 14.
14 to 3 was your final.
Now, the highlights I did see where the Lions apparently did good. That guy named Hooker's obviously going to make a good receiver. And that dude that they got from the Detroit Panthers, the kicker with the problematic name, he's very good. And the Lions always need a very good kicker.
There we go. Yeah, I know that in the chat at YouTube, Sally Dahl is asking about the Dodgers. They're doing pretty well.
They're doing fine.
The Phillies were at the top of the National League, I think, or actually they're top of the National League for sure.
I know they were up there.
I think they
the
still
Philadelphia's been up there. They've been up there. They've been up there. But they took a few games away from them, but not quite a lot.
But the Dodgers are doing good too, right, Uncle?
Yeah.
I've been watching too much baseball.
Well, between that and now that it has the preseason football.
We're excited. It's going to be good. It's already there were games on today.
What's her name? Still on the tube now. She'll be stuck on that tube.
You talking about your sister?
Mm-hmm. She'll be stuck on that tube till the Super Bowl's over.
Till the Super Bowl's over. Yeah, it's gonna be a while.
That's how she is in this football stuff.
Yeah. A lot of exciting games going on. The Steelers were on earlier, I noticed.
Yeah, the Steelers were playing Texas.
Okay.
And they got beat.
Okay.
You figure these games are preseason football games to know what the rookies do. This is what the preseason's all about. Mm-hmm. If they can make the team or not.
Yep.
And that's all it is.
Yeah, the team, they don't care about winning the games. It's not even about that. Yeah.
It's not because the season hasn't even started. They're saying, okay, we gone to the draft. Okay, we all went to the draft. We got these new players. Let's put them in their preseason games. In fact, there's only now 3 preseason games. They cut it to 5-3 now. And so they got to bring them, and they got to have them cut down at 53 certain time. Or is it 63? It's 53.
Is it 53? I know, yeah, it's pretty small. I think 53.
So they have to have it knocked down for up to a certain date.
Yeah. So it's all about in the preseason.
Preseason stuff.
I'm looking quickly at the current Major League Baseball standings, and I see that the Baltimore Orioles and the Phillies have the most wins in the regular season currently. But trailing only by one game is the Yankees, who have 68 wins, and they're the next, the second place team in the AL East with the Baltimore Orioles. So, just typically, let's look at how bad the Mets are losing, because that's all we can look for. So they're 8 games behind the Phillies, and I'm sure they'll remain there for the rest of the season, even though looks like, what do we got here? 110, 115. So they probably got about 45 more games left, depending on which team we're talking about.
It's
good.
about right. About all of those, about that figure time.
Yeah. So with some discipline, the Mets could easily make it up and overtake the Phillies, but they are the Mets. So that's that. Outside of that, let's see who else is competing. The Minnesota Twins have 65 wins. Let's see. So, another 65. San Diego Padres, believe it or not. And the Dodgers are at the top of the West with 66 wins at the moment.
They are doing well. I thought so. Yeah. It's a good team. They're a good team. There's no doubt about it.
So they're ahead of the Phillies.
Well, no, the Phillies are.
The Phillies are ahead of them.
Well, in the West, they're at the top. Yeah. They're not ahead in the entire National League.
Oh, that's what it was.
Right. The Phillies are in the Eastern Division, and the Dodgers are in the Western Division, and they're each at the head of their divisions.
Divisions.
Right.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Baseball, everybody. What's Ohtani up to? Is he doing okay? Yeah. I haven't heard much about him, really.
I heard that he hit a couple homers.
Okay.
And he made some breaking records.
Okay, he's been breaking records.
I've heard of that, but I haven't seen him much of him.
Yeah, I haven't heard much about him. Before the season started, there was that stuff going on with his manager or whatever, that weird stuff, but then that seems to have quieted down too.
Yeah, that quieted down. There's something about a lawyer came in.
Yeah.
Something like going on. Yeah. I don't know what that was about.
Seemed to have been resolved. I can't even recall what it was exactly now. I'm having trouble remembering, but I don't know. Baseball, football.
That means now. Go ahead.
So in football, from the summer league, is that the only success story? The guy that made it to be the kicker for the Lions? Did anyone else from that other football league make it?
I know some are going to make it. What they need to be or not, I think they're going to be in there before the season starts. But the ones, of course, they have this problem about cutting players to a certain amount. And I know one guy has been, I believe, had made it, and he's with the team that he got drafted from. I forget her team now.
Taking a look at the NFL, looks like they're in week 2 of 4 for the preseason, so they're about halfway done with the preseason. That means a lot of things can still change regarding who they're going to keep and cut, right?
Correct. Yeah, they have to get down to a certain amount, like you said, 53. I think it is 53, not 63. 53.
That seems right. That
seems right. That's right. So to get down to that amount, then what they have to do is make a lineup for themselves. All the teams, they try get these players to play in the preseason, like I was talking about, and they get them and see who they think it can make the team and things that they he might have to cut, and they go through that process now at this time before the season starts.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking at it. You're
There we
right,
go.
Uncle. It's
You're telling him.
53 players on the active roster in the regular season with an additional 16 on the practice squad. So, yeah,
That was it. So 16 it was.
Oh, yeah, the practice squad. Yeah. They can, if they get cut from the main team, they can make the practice team, which is still not
that was
bad.
it. I didn't know how many in the practice team, but then he said 16.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah. There you go.
So
Yeah, so preseason is up and running. They did that, what was it, the game in Ohio. Okay, we got another call.
another call on. Let's see who this is on the Uncle Show. I'm calling. Hello.
You're live.
Caller.
Hey,
You're live. Who is this?
This is Danny in Northern California. How you doing, Uncle?
Danny, what you been up to?
Oh, I've been up. I just had a wonderful dinner with my wife, and we watched an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm, and my wife went to go play a video game on her phone, and I decided to call in and see what was happening with the Uncle Show, and I hear you talking football. So,
Yeah.
Uncle, who's your favorite all-time football player?
Old football player.
All time, yeah.
All time.
Anytime. So I had to choose from Uncle.
Red
That's it.
Zonka.
Larry Zonka?
Larry Zonka, the bull.
Oh, Larry Zonka. Yeah, from the
72
Miami
years.
Dolphins.
Yeah. That man, I mean, when he was
remember
going,
well.
he was going through the line, and they couldn't stop him.
Uncle, you remember what I remember about Larry Zonka?
What?
He was one of the hosts of American Gladiators.
That's
He
right.
was?
He was.
That's right. He was.
I never
He was
seen
a
him.
co-host, yes.
I never seen him.
Yeah, he was
Remember,
he was one of the guys that would stand there in a blazer and a microphone and be like, "How you doing, Blaze?" You know, or whatever name they came up with. Him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Here's our new gladiator,
I
Ice.
didn't know that. Well,
Larry Zonka, yeah. So that was my memory as a kid of Larry Zonka, because I didn't used to watch football when I was young like that, but I did watch American Gladiators.
See,
oh yeah, I heard him.
wasn't
Yeah, I
Larry
seen
Zonka
that.
still active when you were on the Special Olympics, Uncle? Like right around that time? Wasn't he still an active player?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still a little bit time. Yeah. That was before they went down to the what year? Wasn't in the 72? What year was that?
Gosh, I don't know.
If
You
it
tell
was
me,
the 72, they won the Super Bowl.
Uncle. Okay.
Because they beat Washington Redskins at the time named,
Mm-hmm.
but not named now. But
Now the
way back in
Commanders.
the past.
The Commanders now.
Yeah, Commanders. Yeah.
The Commanders now. Yeah.
Well, Danny, it's good to have
Yeah.
you. Who would you say is your favorite player?
Yeah, who
of
is
all
your
time,
favorite
Danny?
player?
Who you got?
Well, my favorite. Well, I have a couple favorite all-time NFLs, but for my players that remind me of Larry Zonka would be Marv Hubbard of the Oakland Raiders and John Riggins of the Redskins, and I would also put Earl Campbell in that category. Just a very difficult runner to stop, and maybe even a Bo Jackson of the Raiders. I would say my two all-time favorite players would be Joe Montana of the San Francisco 49ers, and then the Raiders would be Tim Brown of the Raiders. I mean, Joe Montana of the 49ers, I'm sorry, and would be Tim Brown of the Raiders. Those would be my two all-time favorites. But I'm a huge Notre Dame fan, so anybody that comes from Notre Dame. And I remember listening to the radio. I hadn't even seen Joe Montana play, and I remember the first time I heard him coming in the game, they were losing to North Carolina, and he pulled that game out. So I've always been a big fan of Joe Montana.
Hey, Danny, who was the Raider they called the Mad Bomber? Who was that guy?
Man, Bomber.
The only one that I can think of, but that might have been Daryl LaMonica. He was really gross. Yeah, I think he was before Ken Stabler. Yeah,
Right.
Al Davis had a huge he wanted really speedy receivers, and he wanted to throw the long ball. So I believe that was Darryl LaMonica. If I could be mistaken.
It sounds right. It sounds right.
Might be right. They also had a wide receiver Branch for the Raiders.
Cliff Branch was very fast, number 21. Yes, he was a speedster. So that was always Al Davis' thing, was speed. I remember when they drafted Tim Brown, they got Willie Gault, who I think he was an Olympic sprinter, and they wanted to emphasize Willie Gault over Tim Brown. And Tim Brown became far better, overall a better receiver. He did punt returns, kickoff returns, and received. And I think he was like the third all-time receiver. And for whatever reason, it took him third round to make the Hall of Fame, which I think was wrong.
Go. Who? Well, I know that Sally Dahl says that Warren Moon, that seems to be her favorite player. So we got that from the YouTube chat there. Jimmy, what about you? You got a favorite player?
What's your favorite, Jimmy?
Oh wait, Jimmy's on hold. Sorry, hold on.
Okay. We'll
He's on hold. What happened to him?
I'll get him up. There we go.
Oh, my goodness gracious. So I said all that to nothing.
Sorry.
Well, everyone else got to name a few, so I want to name a few. Walter Payton, Barry Sanders, and O.J. Simpson. That's right. I said it. I'm sorry. I'm sticking with it. We're talking football.
I see where you're going with this. The good. That's funny. Around Tony's wife. Yeah. I know.
There's no rule against it.
He was a good ball player. He was a good ball player. I'm taking that away from him. But
absolutely.
It's after the time.
I would say Barry Sanders, pound for pound, was probably the greatest running back ever. I mean, he really was probably the greatest. I mean, Barry Sanders just was amazing running back.
That running back for the Bears. Oh, and he also has a star of his designer picture. Every year they get this award.
You're talking about the Walter Payton?
Payton Award.
That's what we're talking about?
That's what we're talking about. Walter Payton Award.
Man of the Year Award.
Man of the Award. He made it for that purpose for him, and made it, okay, who do you think is going to be at this coming year?
It's like the
question marks. So we don't know yet. It's in play yet.
The philanthropic award in the NFL. It's who does the best in that with like the charity work and whatnot.
Yeah, since that came up, Jimmy talked about them teams, and then I mentioned that.
There we go. Yeah. All right. Well, everybody's excited about football here. I want to watch some of the preseason games. I kind of like watching and seeing what the new guys can do.
Sunday is the Rams will play.
So
they're playing
Dallas. Yeah, I want to see.
They're playing Dallas.
I want to see who they put in there. Hopefully they put like Fisk and Verse both in there. I want to see what those guys do.
He's going to put them in. I mean,
right?
And now the coach. The coach doesn't matter the win or lose because of this preseason stuff, but he's going to try to put some new players in that they even got from the draft.
He'll put all of them in. He will play all of them.
Oh, they're going to play all of them.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
And see how it goes. Mm-hmm. That's my other team, by the way. I have, before anybody complains about who's playing what teams are mine and what teams are theirs, my two teams is the Rams and Miami. And I want to hear but nobody talk about the team. I'm tired of hearing that from everybody talking.
Well, I know that Danny seemed to go with both of the Bay Area teams, and I can tell he likes both of them. So you got that going on too. You ever catch heat for liking both teams, Danny?
Yeah.
Oh Oh yeah, I've had people, because it's usually one or the other. I mean, I started out as a Raiders fan, but primarily I'm a Notre Dame fan. I've been a huge fan of Notre Dame since I was like 4 years of age. So I do root for players that make it to the NFL. And at that time, when Joe Montana came to San Francisco, I started rooting for both teams. I had no reason to dislike either team. I've had people tell me, you can't be a fan of either. And I said, yes, I can. I am. So here I go. So I didn't really ever felt there were rivalries, because one was NFL and one was AFL. So,
correct. The only time they would meet, if they meet, it would be in the Super Bowl.
There we go.
If you think of it,
that's never happened once. Not a problem.
If you think of it that way.
Yeah,
that's how I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's probably not going to happen. Yeah. Now, now that they start the interleague play, you have the A's and the Giants. I've always been more of an A's fan, so I do root for the A's over the Giants. Even though the Giants is a better organization for the fan experience, I don't dislike the Giants. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The A's ownership is absolutely awful to the fans.
You know, when it comes to the Raiders, though, I got to tell you, Romanowski and Tatum are definitely two of my favorite guys. So yeah. Wonder why.
Jackson, I read his biography. He was a really good biography, because when he was recruited out of college, Woody Hayes never talked to him. Woody Hayes recruited his mother, and he was in New Jersey. Jack Tatum was from New Jersey, and he was playing basketball, and somebody from the neighborhood said, "Hey, Jack, you better go check out your mom. There's some vacuum cleaner salesman trying to sell your mom a vacuum." And they showed up there, and it was Woody Hayes having coffee and pie with his mom, and his mom says, "You're going to go with Coach Hayes." And Jack Tatum had nothing but praise for Woody Hayes. He was like a father to him.
Woody Hayes, I know well from my time in Columbus. There was many a mural of Woody Hayes, and lots of shrines to him. You go to different hole in the wall bars, again, like a big painting of Woody Hayes on the wall. So definitely, I know of him just because of that, just from living around there. So.
And, here's a funny thing. In the chat room, apparently Face Shifter says Ohtani hit his 35th homer tonight. So
there we go. So he's doing what he does.
Yep.
It's homers.
He's hitting home runs. Okay, well, there we go. He's playing just fine, as I figured he would be.
And he said a little while ago that the Dodgers were up over Pittsburgh 7-1 in the fifth. But that was a little while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're playing Pittsburgh.
Uncle, this is a full sports update.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Oh, all the sports, all the time. Not Barstool.
I'd like to add one thing about football. Is what I went to a really small high school, and we had a really good football team, and I ended up playing with four guys in this high school of 350 students, and four players ended up in the NFL, and only one was ever got a scholarship out of the four. It's a really small high school.
Out of the four, got the scholarship.
Yeah. I played with four guys that ended up in the NFL. One ended up in the quarterback. I'm not going to mention names. You can look it up. It was the '85 Super Bowl quarterback for the losing team, for the New England Patriots. I grew up with him. His brother ended up going to UC Davis, and he got drafted to the Houston Oilers, and he ended up being a safety. And there was a lineman. He ended up playing for the Redskins, and he got a Super Bowl ring. He was, I never thought he was really big. He was the backup tackle for Joe Jacoby, the All-Pro. As a matter of fact, we had a reunion. He brought a Super Bowl ring. I got to put it on. And one other quarterback ended up getting drafted to the Niners, and it was the preseason game, and I watched him fumble twice, and then he was cut the next day. So it was just a really fluky thing to play with that many guys in the NFL.
Very cool. Yeah, I see that we've got Green Seed in the chat, and he's saying that he likes Pinball Clements, but he thinks that might be CFL. So there we go. Look out, Green Seed's over there.
Who's Clements?
Pinball Clements?
Pinball Clements.
I'm not sure if it's a real person.
No idea who that is.
Well, if he's talking about a Notre Dame quarterback, it was one of my favorites as a kid in the early 70s, was a guy named Tom Clements. And he led Notre Dame to the championship when they beat Bryant's Alabama team, Air Parsegan. He ended up in the Canadian Football League, if memory is correct. I was talking about
Maybe it was him. Maybe it was him. Who knows?
Yeah. I just know when Green Seed was on the show, he was talking about the Seattle Fishmongers needing to be a new expansion team.
Oh, yeah. That thing again.
I remember that.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. That talking about expansion teams.
Yeah,
that guy kept talking about that very thing because he's saying, how come these teams haven't been trying good preseason, get these other players in? Who said that? Somebody did.
Uncle, seeing as how we have these callers and we're getting toward the end of the show, why don't we let everybody do a shout out? What do you say?
Yep.
Shout out.
That sound good?
Okay. The first one was Jimmy. Go from there for the shout outs.
Sounds good.
Go ahead.
Jimmy, who you got to shout out to?
Shout out to the hapless Detroit Lions. Good luck. You'll need it.
Oh, no. All right, well. That sounds good, Jimmy. Thanks for calling in, man.
Thank you for calling in.
Right,
second caller.
We have Danny on the line.
Danny was the second one, I think.
Who do you want to shout out to tonight?
Who do you shout out to?
Thank you for letting me come in and participate. And I'd have a shout out for my Fighting Irish. And the A's are coming to Sacramento to play for 2 to 3 seasons before they go to Vegas. And I want everybody to take care.
Talking about
Hey, thanks, Danny. It's great to talk to you, man. I didn't realize that the A's were going to Vegas, but it makes sense.
Talking about that, I forgot to tell him.
Okay.
Florida State is going to come to you guys. Notre Dame.
Oh, they're going to play Notre Dame. Okay.
Notre Dame.
Oh, you're talking about like the conference change?
Conference change.
Yeah, okay.
They're coming this year.
That's another conversation.
Conversation for next time we talk.
They'll be playing at USC. Yeah, it's their time to play at USC in November.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. Okay.
All right, Danny. It's great to have you, man. Call back anytime.
Call back anytime.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Now, Uncle, did you want to shout anybody out?
Well, shout out to everybody that was listening, and whoever was in the States have been listening. I appreciate it.
That's right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chuck, would you like to do a shout out? Bring you on for a shout out?
No, I'm good. Thanks.
Okay.
I appreciate all you guys that listen. That's all I'm going to say. I appreciate all the listeners. How about that? Everybody who listens, I appreciate you. Spread the word. Thanks.
Yeah, likewise. Please do that. Thank you, everybody who happens to be watching this, who listens regularly. If you're just seeing this on like a live stream on Twitter, for instance, and you enjoy it, follow the Twitter. Subscribe to the podcast on any podcatcher. We're on all of them, pretty much. Uncle the Podcast, you can find
almost all of them now. Yeah. I don't know. I'm so wound up and knowing you're doing all of it, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, what one do I listen to? I'm even confused.
Just Uncle the Podcast. If you use that as your general search term, you're going to find us. I mean, where we're not shadow banned. But, if you found us, wherever you found us, stay there and keep doing it. And UncleThePodcast.com is the hub for all of our stuff, so you can go there. I will also use this moment to once again drive home the point, drilling for bacon.
Oh, yes, we know who that was now.
We got to say that again. It has to be said. I mean, if we don't say it, who will? That's all I got to say.
I finally figured out who it was about.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I'm just trying to figure out
the
bacon. I got it now. I know who you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Now.
Uncle's on top of this. Yeah, and we should be doing tomorrow. Look for a live stream. We'll be probably watching a VHS tape, or maybe we'll play a video game again sometime in the day tomorrow on Saturday. Oh. So follow our feeds, YouTube, Twitch, again, the X, my X thing, or the Kick, or the other ones. Well, what is it, Uncle?
That's our show, I suppose. 340 years in the books. Bye-bye. I do need put the hose on the sprayer because she wants me to spray that door thing.